At Black Vocals, we bring you powerful, real-life inspired stories that shine a light on injustice, challenge prejudice, and celebrate the strength of human dignity. The old rotary phone rang, its shrill sound cutting through the quiet hum of the grand mansion. 10-year-old Chloe, perched on a stool in the kitchen, her nose buried in a thick calculus textbook, didn't even flinch. Her mother, Sarah, hurried in from the garden, wiping dirt from her hands onto her apron. "Chloe, honey, could you get that? My hands are a mess." Chloe slid off the stool, her bare feet silent on the cool marble floor. She picked up the heavy receiver. "Hello, this is the Harrison residence." A torrent of unfamiliar words flowed into her ear. It wasn't English or Spanish, which she also knew. The sounds were guttural yet melodic. Chloe's brow furrowed for a second, her mind racing like a supercomputer. She recognized the phonetics, the sentence structure. It was Dutch. She'd been studying it online for a few weeks, fascinated by its similarities to German and English. "Goedemiddag," she replied smoothly, her pronunciation crisp. "Hoe kan ik u helpen?" "Good afternoon. How can I help you?" There was a surprised silence on the other end. Then the man continued in Dutch, explaining he was Mr. Vanderberg, a business associate of Mr. Harrison, calling from Amsterdam about an urgent shipment delay. Meanwhile, Mr. Harrison, the millionaire owner of the mansion, strode into the hallway, a frustrated look on his face. He'd been expecting this important call and knew his associate spoke very little English. He reached to take the phone from Chloe, assuming she was struggling to understand. But then he froze. He heard his daughter's maid speaking fluent Dutch, calmly discussing logistics and vessel numbers. He stood there, dumbfounded, listening as this little girl, who he usually saw quietly reading in corners, navigated a complex international business call with more grace than most of his own staff. When Chloe hung up, she turned and saw Mr. Harrison staring at her, his mouth slightly agape. "Mr. Vanderberg said the container ship was held up in Rotterdam due to a customs issue," she explained calmly. "He's emailed you the new bill of lading and expects the shipment to arrive next Tuesday. He apologizes for the inconvenience." Mr. Harrison sank into a nearby armchair, running a hand through his hair. He looked from the phone to Chloe, then back again. For years, he'd seen Sarah, his hard-working and dignified maid, and her quiet, bookish daughter. He paid them, provided a small room for them on the estate, and largely he ignored them. They were part of the background, the silent machinery that kept his lavish life running smoothly. Now, that background had just spoken to him in fluent Dutch. "Chloe," he said, his voice softer than she'd ever heard it, "where did you learn to speak Dutch?" "Online," she said simply, shrugging. "And from some books at the library. It's interesting." "Interesting," he repeated, a slow smile spreading across his face. It wasn't just interesting, it was brilliant. He'd spent a fortune on tutors for his own children who complained endlessly about their French lessons. Yet here was Chloe, self-taught and fluent in a language purely out of curiosity. That evening, Mr. Harrison found Sarah cleaning the kitchen long after her shift had ended. "Sarah," he began, "I need to talk to you about Chloe." Sarah's heart immediately sank. She worried Chloe had broken something, or perhaps her constant reading was seen as slacking off. "I'm so sorry if she was a bother, sir. She's a good girl. She just—" "A bother?" Mr. Harrison laughed. "Sarah, your daughter is a genius, an absolute, unequivocal genius." He recounted the phone call, his voice filled with an awe that Sarah had never heard from him before. He told her how Chloe had handled a situation that would have stumped his own executive assistant. Sarah listened, a quiet pride swelling in her chest. She knew her daughter was special. She'd sacrificed everything, working grueling hours to give Chloe a stable environment, even if it was in the shadow of someone else's wealth. She encouraged Chloe's voracious appetite for knowledge, spending her meager savings on second-hand books and a used laptop so Chloe could explore the world from their tiny room. "I always knew she was smart," Sarah said, her voice thick with emotion. "She's more than smart," Mr. Harrison insisted. He looked at Sarah, truly seeing her for the first time, not as his maid, but as the mother of an extraordinary child. He saw the exhaustion in her eyes, but also the fierce, unyielding love. And he felt a pang of shame. He had all the resources in the world, yet he had been blind to the incredible potential living right under his own roof. The next day, Mr. Harrison called a meeting, not with his business partners, but with the headmistress of the most prestigious private academy in the state. He told her about a prospective student, a 10-year-old girl who spoke 3 languages and was studying university-level mathematics for fun. An interview was arranged. Chloe, dressed in her best hand-me-down dress, was nervous but excited. She answered the interview panel's questions with a clarity and depth that left them stunned. They tested her in math, science, and languages. She didn't just meet their expectations, she shattered them. She was offered a full scholarship on the spot. When Mr. Harrison told Sarah the news, she burst into tears. Not of sadness, but of overwhelming joy and gratitude. The future she had dreamed of for her daughter, the one she had worked so hard for, was suddenly, miraculously within reach. But Mr. Harrison wasn't done. He looked at Sarah, a new resolve in his eyes. "Sarah," he said, "this scholarship is just the beginning. I was wrong to overlook you and your daughter. Your dedication as a mother is as remarkable as Chloe's intellect. I want to offer you a new position, not as my maid, but as my new household manager. With a proper salary, you'll oversee the staff, the budget. I need someone with your integrity and work ethic running this place. It would also mean you can afford a home of your own near the new school." Sarah was speechless. In one day, her entire world had been transformed. A few months later, Chloe walked through the gates of her new school, her backpack filled with new books. She was no longer the maid's daughter who lived in the shadows. She was Chloe, a brilliant student with a future as bright as she dared to imagine. Sarah, now a respected manager, watched her go, her heart full. The story of Chloe and Sarah spread through the community. It wasn't just a tale of a gifted child being discovered. It was a story about seeing the worth and dignity in every person, regardless of their job or station in life. Mr. Harrison learned that the greatest assets aren't always found on a balance sheet. Sometimes they're found in the quiet corners of your own home, reading a calculus book and waiting for the phone to ring. It served as a powerful reminder that intelligence, talent, and worth are not confined by wealth or status, and that a single moment of recognition can change a person's life forever. Thank you for watching Black Vocals. We believe in the power of stories to inspire and uplift. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content that celebrates the human spirit. Remember to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Join our community and help us share stories that matter.